Hello! Today we shall be going over my top 5 favorite MCU movies. So that's just the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We won't be taking the Fox or Sony universe into account. So, without further ado, shall we begin? We are going to rate this from number 5 all the way to number 1. So, let's begin. The first one that we have is The Incredible Hulk. This is a movie I know, not a lot of people liked. I know this is technically Universal as well, but this does actually end up playing a big part into the larger MCU, especially in Captain America Civil War. I know, like I just said, that we won't be taking the Fox or Sony universe into account, but I was mainly talking about the X-Men movies or the Amazing Spider-Mans or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. But anyway, this is the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk before Mark Ruffalo took over. This takes place after the first Iron Man. Iron Man even has a cameo in this movie at the end. This is pretty much just a Hulk story. You got the Abomination. It has a couple of cool chase fight scenes and then chase scenes in it, and that's pretty much I can say about it. The Abomination's a villain. They have a cool fight at the end, and then that's when they start dropping ideas of a bigger universe with Tony Stark in this one, because Nick Fury appeared at the end of the last one. So, coming in fourth place is Iron Man, the one that started off the whole MCU, the whole cinematic universe. This has Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane, and then you got Pepper Potts in this, you got Rhodey, and then of course you got Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. After Avengers Endgame, can't see anybody else as Iron Man. This is the pivotal movie. This set up everything to come. This was all the way back in 2008. Who knew the gigantic universe that this would end up setting up? But anyway, if you don't know the plot of this movie, pretty much he's a wealthy billionaire playboy. He's kind of full of himself, and then he goes to sell this weapons because he's a weapons company in Afghanistan, and then the whole thing gets ambushed, and then he gets captured, and then he's forced to build a missile for the terrorists, and then the story just goes on. He finally gets out, he comes back home, and then he builds his own suit of armor because he wants to protect Pepper Potts and everyone that he cares about, and then Obadiah is the one that took over the company from his father, and then they have a big fight at the end, and that's first place. And then the end credit scene with this one, Nick Fury is you've become part of a bigger universe, you just don't know it yet. So that is in fourth place, Iron Man. So coming in third place is Avengers Infinity War. This was an amazing film with a ginormous WTF ending. Nobody could have predicted how they would end it. Thanos actually wins and then snaps and then everybody disappears. But this comes in at number 3 because it was the first time all these characters were together. The Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man, the Avengers. Well, Iron Man is part of the Avengers, but anyway, you know what I mean. And then which led to the gigantic Wakanda battle, and then on I believe Sanctuary, and then Vormir, we saw Red Skull back, and then he had to throw his daughter off the cliff, Gamora, and it was an awesome film. Absolutely loved it, and that comes in at number 3, Avengers Infinity War. So, coming in at number 2 is Marvel's The Avengers. This is the first one within the first team-up movie within Phase 1, and then it was it was so cool seeing this for the first time. All these heroes together. Nobody would have guessed that, this would actually ever come true. In this one, you got Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, the Hulk. You can see how young they look on this cover compared to how it went, but pretty much Loki has returned. Loki's the main villain from Thor, and then he is working with the Chitauri, and then at the end we found out he was actually working for Thanos, and then they have a big battle in New York with the Chitauri, and it was just an awesome film, seeing everything come together, and some of the jokes just worked so well, especially the Shakespeare in the Park. Does mother know you weareth her drapes? It's so good, and it's just such a fun film. So anyway, that is The Avengers coming in at number 2. So, coming in at number 1, shouldn't really be a surprise, but anyway, it is Avengers Endgame. This is a 3-hour epic. I completely agree that it's probably the best film within the cinematic universe. It ended everything so well. It was a tribute film, but I do understand people that say, like, it's not a good film if you haven't seen the other ones. I understand that. Like, people go in completely confused what's going on. You have to see all the other ones, but this is a great film after you watched all the other ones. It's such a great culmination of 21 or I want to say 22 films now, if you count if you count Spider-Man Far From Home. I could be off, don't quote me. But anyway, this is such a great film. It brought everything to a conclusion, especially the final battle when they all were together to fight Thanos, and then they had their big fight with Thanos, and then Thanos did the I am inevitable, and then snaps and then realizes the stones aren't on him, and then Iron Man has him, and then he says that famous line, and then he snaps and dies, and then they have the beautiful funeral there, and it's just such a great movie. It exceeded expectations, and it's probably one of my absolute favorite movies of all time because, like, just how I follow this universe. But anyway, that is number 1, Avengers Endgame. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe so I know to keep making more of these. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!